retrieving the position of this movement target. And then back down here in our function, all we have to do is say navigation agent dot target position, and we'll set this equal to our movement targets. And I actually just realized that these are named like the same thing, so I'm going to do this quick. For the movement target inside of our method here, we'll call it target point, and then just replace the assignment here with the target point argument there, and then we won't have any confusion with the same name as this variable up here. So next up, we'll create one more block of code down here, and this will be inside of the physics process. So we can type function underscore physics process, and then inside of here we'll say, first off, if navigation agent dot is navigation finished. So if our navigation is finished, we will just return. Otherwise, we will say var current agent position, which is a vector 2, is set to the global position of this node. Next up, we'll say var next path position, which is also a vector 2, will be set to navigation agent dot get next path position. And then down here we'll write move velocity, which will be a vector 2, and this will be set equal to next path position minus current agent position. And then we will say new velocity equals new velocity dot normalized, so that we can get the normalized vector, which we will then multiply by our move speed with new velocity equals new velocity times movement speed. And then lastly down here we'll just say our velocity, which is the built-in variable inside of Godot 4, will be set to our new velocity, and then we just need to call move and slide to actually initiate the motion of our node. And the script should all work correctly. Now there's a couple more things I want to set up quick. First one is if we go into the debug settings at the top here, we can just enable visible navigation, and this will show our navigation mesh or our navigation shape during run. We can just enable visible navigation.
Absolutely, Elliot is royalty.
And this will show our navigation mesh or our navigation shape during runtime. And then also, if we go into our enemy, inside of the navigation agent under debug, we can say enabled, and then this will draw a line showing our entire navigation path, which is also kind of helpful for debugging. So now if we go ahead and run the game, we need to select the world scene for the main scene here, just so that you guys can see what's going on here.
You should repropose
Zoom in here, and you can see that the enemy followed the path all the way to the specific point, which is defined by the position of the navigation target here. And it's also good to note that you do not want to be updating the navigation path every frame for the processing, because that will slow down your game. So ideally, you only want to update the navigation path at specific times, but you do have to be careful, since a lot of functions you can call on the navigation agent will update the path to recalculate that frame. So you do have to kind of keep that in mind, and remember to optimize all your code so that you are only updating the path at certain times, and then you are simply executing the movement code.
Oh, well, I will be wherever your renewal of vows is, David. I love you guys so much. Yep, I'm doing it right now. I'm just filling the discs. That means it's gonna taste really good. Yeah, I love you. Thanks for calling.
That's exactly what I thought. It was global position.
Talk to you later.
I was like,
Bye.
see, you're wrong.
I need to buy a rolling pin.
How often do we use a rolling pin in our cooking?
Well, I bake sometimes, and like with this.
When? When do you bake? I've never heard of it.
When do I bake? When do you finish everything that I bake? That's how often I bake. Exactly.
I'll finish everything you bake, and you make more apple stuff.
Okay.
That's when I'll finish it.
Well, I will bake when it's baking season and not 1,000 degrees outside. Is that fair?
You said you'll have frozen yogurt in the middle of winter.
I
But
would have ice cream or frozen yogurt.
oh, but hot on hot is bad.
That's different.
You wouldn't have soup right now? Out of the question?
No, not out of the question.
But out of the question for me, I see.
For you, yes. You get nothing.
As me, I see.
I wish.
Do you?
No.
Try harder. It's good. I'm going over pathfinding the for the player, or not for the player, for the Pac-Man, and I'm just trying to think. I'm copying some code and I'm trying to think about it as well to be like, okay, so this isn't exactly how it would work because it's not one set path, it's a path throughout the entire environment. So how do I factor that? How do I set different positions? Like, do I need to set a position for every block? Like, that seems like a
I
lot.
was about to say that sounds
Um, So trying to think about that, but as I go through this, but I figure I'll get some of the code, I'll read it and review it, and then I'll go to another video, and I'll go to another video, and maybe one more, and then I was like, okay, at that point I feel like I understand everything I need to, but I always take action before I know enough, so
that
trying
is a
to.
lesson for both of us, and we have to remember fast. And I literally go through it, forget everything.
Well, I don't know anything about AI or pathfinding, honestly. Um, I have general ideas, but nothing that it's like here's stuff about women's health. It's like I have a general idea. Will I voice up and say I know something? No. Yeah, exactly. So I'm pursuing it in the same way. Like I don't really know about. Yeah, I have a general idea, and thus far the idea that I had for it is wrong. So,
Oh, the movie just ended.
yes. Well,
I wish you could help me with this. Well, when we get back, I will cover